Look at this room. The walls are crumbling, the desks are bare, and the blackboard is cracked so deeply it barely holds an equation. Now imagine a boy sitting in one of those rows. He wants to be a scientist. He has the drive and the curiosity, yet he has never actually stepped into a science laboratory. His situation is the standard experience. For decades, millions of rural students across India have faced this exact ceiling. You can have all the ambition in the world, but when your physical environment lacks books and tools, the path to innovation stops at the schoolhouse door. For a long time, the Indian education system operated as a bucket-filling exercise. The primary goal was to pack a student's mind with raw facts for memorization, rather than actual comprehension. This chart illustrates the mechanics of that rote learning model. Information flows into the student's bucket, only to drain out onto an examination paper. Once the test ends, the bucket stays empty, leaving the student without practical skills for daily life. The casualties of this system were predictable: children from poor families, girls facing social restrictions, students with disabilities, and first-generation learners often dropped out when the system offered them nothing applicable to their lives. India has set a target called Viksit Bharat 2047, a plan to achieve fully developed nation status by the centennial of its independence. A country cannot sustain a modern economy if the system meant to build its citizens excludes millions. The foundation has to hold the weight of the structure. The reality in that village classroom shifted when a new teacher arrived. Instead of relying on the broken blackboard, she pulled out her mobile phone and projected science videos, instantly bringing a virtual laboratory to her students. The pandemic accelerated this kind of intervention across the country. Online classes, digital libraries, and smart classrooms suddenly became the primary engines of national learning. Look at this image, and the limitations of that digital push become obvious. While an urban student might have a dedicated laptop and fast internet, a rural family often navigates their learning sitting on the bare ground, sharing a single mobile device among several people. Technology offers incredible reach, but relying on digital tools without building up physical infrastructure in rural areas risks accelerating the very inequality it aims to solve. The government introduced the National Education Policy 2020 to fix the root of the problem. This comprehensive overhaul changes the mechanics of how Indian students learn, independent of a Wi-Fi connection. This pyramid reveals the new structure. The base, foundational literacy and numeracy, ensures early reading and math skills. The middle tier emphasizes mother tongue instruction for immediate comprehension. Finally, the capstone adds vocational learning, integrating practical skills for the workforce. You can see that shift in action right here. These young men are practicing pipe fitting in a vocational workshop. Hands-on work experience now carries the exact same weight as academic theory. The objective of schooling has shifted. Education now prioritizes equipping young people with the lifelong problem-solving skills they need for a livelihood. That transformation continues after the school bell rings. Back in our village, the teacher stays late, using the same classroom to teach adults in the evening. This is the ULAS initiative, a national program targeting millions of citizens aged 15 and older who never had the chance to receive a formal education. For these adults, learning to read yields immediate functional benefits. They can suddenly navigate a bank branch, fill out healthcare forms, and use digital payment apps without relying on a stranger for help. There is also a powerful generational multiplier effect. When a mother achieves literacy, she directly secures the educational trajectory of her children, turning learning into a self-sustaining cycle for the entire family. Look at the engagement in this teacher's face. While tablets deliver vast information, they cannot replace the empathy, intuition, and human connection of an educator. A mobile app can explain a math formula, but a teacher's true role is to diagnose a student's individual fears and curiosities, building their confidence step by step. That human element is required to achieve the system's ultimate goal, instilling core constitutional values. Students are taught gender respect, environmental responsibility, and scientific temper, alongside their standard subjects. Producing a skilled worker without moral responsibility fails the nation. Education lights a lamp of understanding and character. Returning to that rural classroom, the boy who once lacked resources can finally visualize his future. An intuitive teacher and modern methods brought the science laboratory directly to his desk. That single classroom reflects the massive transition underway across the country. India is dismantling its legacy of rote memorization and exclusion, replacing it with practical skill building and lifelong learning. By turning education from a distant privilege into a tangible, accessible road, India is pouring the strongest possible foundation to support the reality of a fully developed Viksit Bharat.